into rejection. I know it's only redirection. I see the blessings right beside me. The chances of quitting are likely. I do it like I'm in my Nikes. Don't make excuses, they never excite me. Boxes, boxes. I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it, stop it. Quitting was never an option. Exhausted, exhausted. This passion is never exhausted. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it.
Good morning, Knicks universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Knicks Morning Brew on this Wednesday, May 8th. Like always, I'm your guy, Hector, hanging out with my compadres this morning. I got my guy, Eddie Presti. I got my guy, Mr. Celcito. And I got my guy, Mr. Phil, all caps. Bros, how we doing?
What up? It's game day, and I'm in New York. I'm gonna see Hector soon, and my brother. That's all I got.
Yes. How you feeling, Phil?
I'm good, man. If you don't follow my Twitter, you wouldn't know this story. So I'm gonna say it real quick. So I was actually in Indianapolis. It's crazy how things work out. We were supposed to visit my wife's family in Indiana about a month and a half ago. And we had some problems getting started on our journey with the trailer, had some things that had to get fixed. And it worked itself out that we got there right before round 2 of the playoffs against the Pacers. And so I'm going to be at game 4, but I was coming here for the watch party, and I go to the airport and I have my suitcase and I'm shooting a wedding, on Friday. So I have a lot of stuff for the watch party and for that. And the lady comes up and she's like, hey, your bag's a little bit over. We got to check it. And I was like, all right. And she's like, we can't check it without you taking some stuff out. I was like, all right, bet. How much do I have to take out? And then I hear, oh, no, don't worry about it. He's a Knicks fan. He's covered. And one of the other guys from American Airlines comes up and goes, and she's like, what? He's like, yeah, just check his bag. I'm giving the okay on it. He's a Knicks fan. He's good to go. And he's like, let's go Knicks. He subscribes to the channel, follows me on Instagram, and then sends me on my way. So we are everywhere. The Knicks are everywhere.
Yeah, love
to that
enemy territory. Eddie, how you feeling, bro?
I mean, not too great after the Mitchell Robinson news came out. I mean,
yeah,
obviously, look, you guys could say whatever you want, but there comes a time and a point where you're like, what the fuck is going on here? I mean, we're literally, we can't catch a break. And we were already down to our last, guy with Mitchell Robinson. And now we're without him. To me, that's a tough blow.
Hector.
No matter what you would want to say about Mitchell Robinson, he's a good player. And it sucks that he had to go down so quickly because he's a guy that could stop people. I know he's got issues, but he even scored. He scored on that dunk, the other day. I'm a little concerned, to be honest.
Yeah. Go ahead, Phil.
It's just funny to me that we're all hey, we're gonna see each other in the game, and then before we even do roll call, and he's like, I just can't believe it. We don't have Mitchell Robinson.
But he's right. I'm glad I'm on this side with you today, Eddie.
I am right there with you, right? I'm literally, I feel the same frustration. Let's do the roll call before we get into this depressing convo. Shout out to the folks that are in the chat. We got close to 100 people rocking out with us. If you guys can, smack that like button and hit that subscribe button. And before the roll call, you see the image that's in the middle of the screen. If you guys are in New York City, we are doing a Knicks watch party uptown in the Dykewood and Inwood area of New York City. If you guys are local, if you guys are outside of Manhattan, please come uptown, join us. It's a free entry. We got some giveaways that we're giving away. We got a signed Jalen Brunson basketball we're raffling off. We got a signed Dante DiVincenzo autographed jersey we're raffling off. And we got some Morning Brew merch that we are raffling off as well. So after that, if you guys can, if you guys want to tune in. Baka, I forgot. Shout out to my guy Steve for Baka Backpage. Baka Backpage is throwing us an item as well to include in the giveaway. So without further ado, let's do the roll call. Shout out to my guy Jonathan that's in the building. My guy Gene Fitz Magic is in the building. Gene, how you doing? Make sure you guys go and watch the pop off. Those guys are killing it right now. My guy Double A is in the building. My girlfriend Alex Campos is in the building. We have Phil's wife, Presti Porto, is in the building. Delano Still Jr. My guy, Jacob Petruzzi. The fly guy, Jacob, is in the building.
Yes.
Rock, my guy, Rock. Uncle Rock and his hot takes are in the building. You know, I can't wait. I enjoy having the conversation. But one of the things that get me excited is seeing what Rock's background is going to be when he comes up for the open panel. Shout out to my guy, Ala Wise, who was in the building. Peace, God. I hope all is well. My guy, Kev, the co-host of Nickish, is in the building. Kev, how you doing? Kev, if you in the city, bro, if you uptown, please come to the Inwood come to Inwood, come to the Tryon Public House. Come watch the game with us tonight. Corey Lee is in the building. On Dios NYK is in the building. Royal Boy 78 is in the building. Salute to you guys. So I'm gonna throw it over to you because I need to drink some water.
Drink some water. I'll finish it up.
Chris is in the building. Go ahead, Sels.
Chris, happy belated birthday. I saw our boy Frankie is in the building too. Frankie, your voiceover the other day on the Jet special. What's up, my guy? You know you made it when your voiceover's on the Jets Fun Drive, all right? But let's talk about it, man. Eddie brought it up. You know, horrible news. But to piggyback what you were saying, Eddie, it played out in a way that was beneficial for us, right? We all, before the playoffs, we kept saying we need Mitch and an OG or a Randall. We got Mitch, and Mitch came and served his purpose against Joel Embiid. He did what he had to do. We're in a position where we're up against a team where we all know and we all feel confident collectively we can still walk away with the series without Mitch because of the route that we went, right? But I guess my biggest thing on this is there really any way you cannot put this on Joel Embiid? Because it all stems from that freaking shit from that night. And now this dude is out 6 to 8 weeks. Yes, it's okay against these Pacers. Once we roll through these guys, the next phase is where we're really going to feel the pain of not having a Mitch. I don't think we feel that hurt right now.
We're cooked after this series.
We're cooked. Stop
No. If we face the Celtics next round, it gets harder and harder because each round you're going to go up against different teams. And I don't even want to write off the Pacers yet because the way they
that's what I was about to say. Let's focus on the Pacers and we'll worry about the Celtics next.
The way the Pacers played in that first 3 quarters, I was absolutely impressed with them. I didn't think they could play that good at defense. I didn't think they let us. We were playing their game, okay? That pace of play that they play, they were making us play that pace of game. And we didn't really stop them until that fourth quarter when both of the teams went into the penalty. That was a blessing in disguise for us because that slowed them the fuck down. They couldn't do anything after that. But this Mitch injury hurts, and it's bad. For me, it sucks because he was a key cog for us. I'm upset.
Phil, I'm going to toss to you, bro, because I know you have something to say on there because I guess – yes, we all agree. It sucks that Mitch is out. Like, no one wants that for Mitch, especially because he worked so hard to get back. The amazing start he had to the season, right? And then to still have that all-defensive caliber that he showed us against Embiid, right? He was playing great. So, yes, and it sucks with the injury. But, Phil, I guess, is it for me, I'm not as upset about it because it is the Pacers? Is that why maybe the blow was softened? Because it is that round 2 versus the Pacers? And I know Precious can step in?
I don't think you're super worried about it because Eddie, that's Eddie's job is to do all the worrying for the Knicks fan base and to do all the angry things that are, possibility for the Knicks fan base. But
why, Phil, honestly, why wouldn't you be upset and angry right now?
I am upset. I am frustrated. Okay. I do wish that Mitchell Robinson was here, okay? But like Jigga said, it was a surprise and a delight to actually get him back because there was parts in the season where we thought he was cooked for the whole season. We did not think he was going to make a playoff return. Matter of fact, when they started saying that he was starting to practice, it took us all friggin' by surprise because we were expecting Randall back way before we expected Mitch back. So Mitch coming back was a huge surprise. And to me, I'm looking at the glass half full. I'm looking at the fact that we were able to have Mitchell Robinson when we needed him the absolute most, which was against the 76ers that had the strength of Embiid, that had the kind of players that we needed a Mitchell Robinson for. Is it a blow to us as the Knicks? Yes, it's super frustrating. It sucks. However, when I look at the Pacers team, yes, they played well in that first game, but we also had a bench, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, that didn't. So a lot of it was on us as well. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's a need for this round of the playoffs. And when I look at the next round, yes, if Kristaps Porzingis was not injured and the Celtics had the height that we needed, that they needed in the second in the Eastern Conference Finals, then I would be worried. However, he is out, and he's probably not going to come back for that series either. So now I look at Mitchell Robinson being gone, and I look at Kristaps being gone, and I go, okay, now it's Al Horford, and then we have Hartenstein and Precious. I still put my money on Horford and Hartenstein. I still put my money on those two guys over Al Horford and Luke Cornett. So I'm looking at the actual full picture here and going, okay, Jared Allen, not worried about Jared Allen. Mobley has played like a shell of himself. So if they make it somehow to the next round, I'm not worried about Hartenstein holding his own because it's not Hartenstein of last year. It's Hartenstein of this year. And I think that he can take on the Cleveland Cavaliers and he can take on a Boston Celtic team that does not have Kristaps Porzingis. So for me, I look at the whole picture. The only way that I start to go, oh, crap, is if we get to the finals. Okay, Hartenstein versus Jokic. That would be hard. Hartenstein alone versus Gobert and Towns. That would be hard. But I'm sticking with Eastern Conference right now and not jumping out the window because I think either team that advances to that next round, Hartenstein can hold his own against.
If you think
give me 1 second, Eddie. My fault. Give me just 1 second. 1 second. Shout out to my guy Brian Gustin in the building. Brian said, "Good morning, Hector. Jigga told me to ask you for the moderator's badge this morning in the positivity chat. Brian, I just made you a moderator. Rock Hot Takes, I just made you a rock moderator as well. Brian, let's see, Great Bruston, I made you a moderator as well. Just so everybody knows, we have a lot of moderators in our community because we rock with a lot of you guys. You guys support us, and we trust you guys. If you guys are a moderator in the chat, just because you don't agree with somebody's take, don't mute them, don't delete their comment. Only mute and delete comments that are violating the terms and services of YouTube, that are being very disrespectful, inappropriate to people in our community. So shout out to all the moderators that are in the chat. Our community isn't as good without you guys. Cheesy Soul Cakes as well. I'm making Cheesy Soul Cakes a moderator right now. I got Cheesy Soul Cakes. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Appreciate all you guys. My guy Anthony Rivera.
Did you see what Anthony wrote?
What he said?
Eddie making me nervous. Phil making me calm. I feel complete.
It's the yin. It's what people gotta understand. Eddie is the yang, right? Everyone else is yin. Eddie is the yang. Go ahead, Eddie. I'll throw it back to you. Go ahead, my brother.
I'm just saying, if you guys, all right, look, I don't know what your expectations are on this season. I don't know what you guys expect. I want to win a fucking championship. That is my bottom line. That is the way I look at everything. So when I look against us versus teams against like the Celtics, right? Celtics play 8-9 games. They actually, the last game they played every single play. They're a very deep team. When we go against the Celtics without Mitchell Robinson, that's a loss. We're going to lose that series. I don't care what you guys say. It's a loss. If you look against my prediction, which everybody laughs at me for talking about Orlando Magic, but nobody remembers my fucking Minnesota Timberwolves saying that they're going to win the whole thing. Now, if we go against the Minnesota Timberwolves,
is that over? Is that over yet? It's not over yet. Don't get too happy.
I did pick them 2 months ago, but that's another story. But we'll leave that one alone because God forbid Eddie says anything. We go against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're cooked because they have, I think they have 3 centers or 3 gigantic, guys that could go against us. I'm just pissed off because had these injuries not happened, we literally would be talking about a championship team this year. Seriously.
See, but Eddie, but you and I have had this conversation, right? And I'm gonna defend Eddie very much, right, to the chat because you guys know it. Yes, Eddie may deliver it the way he delivers it. But let's be real. There's a lot of takes that Eddie has been spot on, and he's just calling it realistically. Okay? Here's the thing. Perfect example, Eddie, and I'll talk what you were just saying. Everything that we've been excited on this season has been forced, right? Forced because of injuries, forced new rotation, forced giving guys a chance, forced to see a DiVincenzo in the starting lineup, forced to see iHeart, right? Perfect example. This could be one of those situations where it does become a blessing in disguise. Because with Mitch healthy, you're not going to see as much of Precious, where Precious might actually be a little bit of a better matchup in this series, right? Here's a perfect example, Eddie, and then I'll toss it over to Heck and Phil and you as well, and the chat. The number one thing that pissed me off in that game the other night was right in the first 9 minutes of the game. The first adjustment that Tom Thibodeau did. The very first 2 substitutions he did. He did it to match what they were doing, Carlisle, not his usual game plan of letting us ride and then. He tried something different. We saw Precious come in early and Deuce come in early, and we were only up 8 points, right? And it kept it close. Every time Tibbs has let us run up to that like 15 to 18 lead and then bring our guys in, right? They start getting close to that 7 points, bring Brunson and them back in. So I think this is one of those ones where we're going to be forced into seeing a good solution because we have no choice. Mm-hmm. If Deuce McBride starts hitting his shots, bro, then I'm okay sitting here saying, hey, cool, next man up. We've had to say it all freaking season, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and you're right. You know, it's the next man's up mentality, right? And I'm going to side with Eddie because when you look at it, right, the New York Knicks, that game against the Pacers, if the Knicks continue playing the same way they played in game 1, that's not sustainable. Oh. That many turnovers is not sustainable. I understand that. So there's little things that we have to clean up. Even with all that said and done, even with all that said, the Pacers had the lead in that fourth quarter, and they are the ones who slipped up. Why? Because the New York Knicks, we play a style of basketball that we've been playing all season. We've been playing this style of basketball in the regular season. When you look at it, wire to wire, close games, that's been the Knicks' MO this entire season. That's not Boston. They won 60-plus games. They had a nice cushion. That's not Boston. That's not the Pacers, right? The Pacers had to fight back at the end of the season, and they had to come back. But when you look at their margin of victory, they had a lot of games that were double-digit victories. When you look at the Knicks in this postseason, have we had any games that we won at a margin of double digits? Absolutely not. There was only one game against the Philly series that was a 10-plus difference when it comes to the points between both teams, and that's the game that we lost, right? Yeah. When you look at Indiana, they have games that they've won 10-plus points. We're playing Knicks basketball. If we're in the fourth quarter and the game is tight with 2 minutes left to go, Tom Thibodeau, he is comfortable with his guys because this is something they've done all season. Going into that fourth quarter, the Indiana Pacers, they had 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers going into the fourth quarter, right? The New York Knicks were only able to score 5 points off of their turnovers going into that fourth quarter. Do you know what happened in that fourth quarter? The Pacers had 5 turnovers. The Pacers gave almost, I think, 17 points off of those turnovers. That's pressure basketball. That's the style of basketball Tom Thibodeau has his guys prepared for. Preparation goes a long way, but Eddie, I am with you. Losing Mitchell Robinson is a big piece because when you lose Mitchell Robinson, having him off the bench, I'm not saying having Mitchell Robinson come off of the bench or him not being available, it's not going to hurt our team. It will definitely hurt our team, but we have to trust the next guy coming up. If you look at the odds, are our odds better beating the Pacers with Mitchell Robinson? Yes, it makes our odds better, right? Are our odds worse without Mitchell Robinson? Yes, our odds are worse without Mitchell Robinson. Do I still have confidence that we could beat the Pacers? Yes, I have confidence that we could beat the Pacers. And who knows what happens in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, and here's the thing. I understand the frustration that Mitch is down, okay? But statements like we have been plagued by injury is, to me, a reach. And the reason I say that is because, yes, we have been hit with a bunch of injuries, and it sucks, and it's frustrating. But being plagued by them means that they completely overtake us. They completely ruin us. Like, we're dealing with this, and it's to our destruction. Like, a plague is something that comes in and tries to destroy. But if you look at it, it has not been like the plague of injuries. It's been unfortunate injuries. But like Celso said, we would not be who we are. We might not even be the team that we are in the spot that we're at if it wasn't for those injuries. Because we've been able to see the best OG Anunoby since he's been in the NBA. We've been able to see the best Isaiah Hartenstein since he's been in the NBA. We've had Dante go from a sixth man to a guy who can put up 30 points in a game that was not able to do that in any of the previous teams he was in before. We've seen Miles McBride, though he's been silent these last few games, we've seen him go from a 3-minute role player to actually contributing to game-winning shots. Like, we've seen a change in these New York Knicks. We've seen the best Precious Achiuwa since he's been in the NBA. So, yes, the injuries have sucked, but our team, each individual player has gotten better. Jalen Brunson has truly been able to have the keys of New York and become this all-star elite player that he is, that he wasn't able to fully do previously in previous seasons. So for me, yes, I'm going to see that the injuries suck, but I'm also going to see what we've been, because if we can play that card, every other team could play that card too. Like the 76ers could play that card. The Celtics can now play that card. The Cavs could play that card. And seedings would have been completely different for a lot of people if it wasn't for injuries. But in the midst of injuries, where a lot of teams got hit and they fell backwards, we got hit and we've moved forwards. So I'm not going to look at that as a plague. I'm going to look at it as, holy crap, this totally changed the freaking trajectory of this team. And now it gives us a lot of clarity on what these big moves are that so many Knicks fans have been saying need to happen. Now we know solid pieces that can't go anywhere. Now we know, for the people that were complaining for freaking months about Josh Hart, $80 million, way too much money. Okay, eat those $80 million, because every single team right now, all these coaches talk about it, the announcers talk about it, all these coaches would want an $80 million Josh Hart on their team. So for me, it's opened our eyes to a lot. It's actually made Tom Thibodeau a better coach. And for me, I think we are well seasoned and more ready for a playoff run than we were before all those injuries.
Real quick, before I toss it over to Eddie, I know he wants to touch on it. Shout out to our boy Rock. He just entered into the raffle. Salute to the best Knicks podcast in YouTube. Jalen, the message, Brunson will continue to be unstoppable. Pacers have no answer for the Nova 3. Appreciate you. You're entered into the raffle, my guy.
We got over 200 people in the building rocking with us right now. If you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on Instagram, if you're watching us on the Elon Musk machine that was formerly known as Twitter, click the link in the bio, jump on over to YouTube, join the conversation. We are sitting at 34 likes. Spam the like button. Let's get the likes up. Spam the emoji. Let's do the spam army. All right. Let's spam the emoji for the next 30 seconds. Just spam it. Smack the hearts. Smack the faces. Smack the likes. YouTube, like I said, they're trying to become the new TikTok. Soon they're going to change their chat. So we could turn it off. We could turn the chat off unless there's a certain amount of likes on the video. That's what YouTube is working on doing right now. So guys, spam that emoji that's in the bottom right corner of the chat. Go ahead, Sel. It's my fault.
Yeah, and get your raffle ticket. If you can't make it to the watch party tonight, guys, that $20, just like Rock did, it gets you into every single giveaway we're doing. So literally that $20 gets you into all 5-6 giveaways tonight. That is the Brunson signed basketball, the DiVincenzo signed jersey, the merch, the hoodies, all that good stuff. Helps us make sure this event goes crazy and gives you guys a chance to win something. So we are going to leave that open till the pregame, 30 minutes into the pregame, and then we'll shut that down. So that link will be good. What time's the game tonight? 8 o'clock?
The game's at 8. The pregame was starting at 7 from the bar, 7 to 8.
Yeah, so we'll keep that link open until about
some raffle tickets, you cheap bastards.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, here's some of the stuff for the raffle. We're going to say it again. A signed Dante DiVincenzo jersey. Like
PSA official.
PSA official.
Yes.
You spend, let's say you get, 5 tickets. That's $100. You win this freaking jersey that is way more expensive than $100. A signed Jalen Brunson basketball, a Knicks Morning Brew hoodie. That's worth $100 in itself. Like, let's be real. A Knicks Morning Brew shirt, a Bakker back pages.
You know what, Phil, we're going about it the wrong way. You're going about it the wrong way. I think Frankie put the best thing in the chat for people to donate. Donate now for Phil versus Eddie in a cage match.
There we go.
Hey, Jigga. There. Oh, okay. You posted the link. All right. I'm down. That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
I'll Hector's behind you with the jersey.
If I win, can we like play an episode on your positivity show where positivity
You can't
wins?
enter. You can't enter. We're not allowed.
No, I'm talking about the cage match.
Oh.
I'm standing over Eddie's dead body.
Any of that.
I'm standing over Eddie's dead body with a like belt that says positivity. That would be great.
All right, we went through the raffle stuff. We went through all that. The link's in the chat. And for those of you that are coming out tonight, let us know in the chat if you're coming out. We'd love to know who's coming. The drinks are going to be dope. The game's going to be amazing. That DiVincenzo jersey looks phenomenal.
Shout out to the Hobby Hive, because I wouldn't have this Dante jersey without the Hobby Hive. And
shout out to the Whites.
The Hobby Hive is actually owned by Snooki from Jersey Shore. She's from South America.
Anthony said no sign of Knicks Morning Brew memorabilia. Double A's the only one that has that officially out there in the world. Can we please let's switch to a little?
Wait, hold on.
All right, we'll stay. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Will said that we are playing our best brand of basketball. That is false.
I knew he wasn't going to let
that
it
is
slide.
false. Our best brand of basketball was when OG Anunoby got here and Julius Randle was fully healthy, and we were on that sick run that we went on in January. That was the best brand of basketball I've seen the Knicks play the entire season. That was the best. And that was the most dangerous brand of basketball. That was the New York Knicks, not only with a number one, but a number two, and then an entire bench. Yes, we didn't have Mitchell Robinson, but that brand of basketball was the best brand. That brand of basketball could have won a championship. And that's why it bothers me and it hurts me so much. Because if we had Randall and we had these guys, I literally would be sitting here right now and telling you we could fucking beat anybody. But that team was fucking grade A. That was the best version.
They had the best. They had all when OG Anunoby, Julius, and that's why when Knick fans are saying, "Oh, we got to trade," I don't think they'll trade Randall this offseason. But with OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Jalen Brunson for the month of January, when they was on the court, they had the best plus minus in all the NBA. They had the best offensive rating in the NBA. They had the best defensive rating or top 3 defensive rating in the NBA. That's wild to say that a lineup that has Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson in it had a top 3 defensive rating in the NBA. That's crazy to even come out my mouth.
Yeah, but here's the thing is, yes, when Randle was there, but that was a very short stint of basketball. What I'm saying is you're now saying, what happened?
No, the record was 16-3 in that month of January with the 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, I'm agreeing with you. My fault. My fault.
So it was a short stint of basketball. And Eddie, you were on the train of this team could do something big even a week and a half, 2 weeks ago before Mitch was gone. So my thing is
I never said they could win a championship ever. I said that they could get to the ECF, and I stand on that. But championship, no.
Well, you just said earlier that next round's going to be an issue, like that you don't think that we're going to get past next round with the possibilities of
next round is still getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like
we get to the Eastern Conference Finals. For me, the season's a win, but God, I look back and what could have been. What could have been.
But no, definitely.
Hold on.
I want to focus on right now. Go ahead, Celso.
Just as they come in, I want to shout them out because they're flying in. Brian Gustin, shout out to you. He just claimed the giveaway raffle entries. You are entered, my guy.
Brian, that's what I'm talking about.
Somebody in the chat, if your email includes the word Ford in it, can you tell us who you are in the chat? Because all you put in there was someone, and I want to make sure your name is entered. But someone entered double entry into the giveaway as well.
Yes.
The raffle tickets are flying off the shelf.
Ford in your email. If Ford is in your email, let us know who that was so we could get the proper name attached to it. We want to make sure we enter you properly into the giveaway for tonight. But no, listen, I'm just squash this right now so we continue the conversation, right? Would I rather have Mitchell Robinson out there over Presti? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm not going to just wallow in what's going on right now. I'm not just going to go soak. I'm still going to support my team. Does it make the odds a bit harder to beat the Celtics.
It was double A. I'm such an idiot.
It's harder.
Sorry.
Yes, my guy, double A. We was taking bets. What's double A's actual name? And he's like, it's Alan Alford.
Yeah, and when he said, I was like, oh, duh. I'm looking at Ford and not the. I'm like, I know this. It's in my phone.
But no, like I said, let's just move past this and let's have the conversation. Mitchell Robinson being out, it hurts us because Mitchell Robinson was playing at an all-time level. But at the same time, I still have faith in this team. At the same time, I still have faith that the coaching staff is going to have their team prepared. When you look at Indiana is not as big as the 76ers were. If this was the last round, then I'll be like, maybe a little bit difficult not having Mitchell Robinson out there. Indiana is not like that. Then when you look at the Boston Celtics, you never know what happens, or you never know what's going to happen with Kristaps Porzingis and his Q-tip legs. Am I scared if Kristaps Porzingis is not 100%? Not that much. Am I worried that Al Horford, who is probably 68, 105 years old, is going to go off for 30 points a night against us? No, absolutely not. It's a team. We need team basketball. It's just next man up mentality. But I'm with you, Ed. I do feel our odds are a little bit worse with the injury being out because Mitchell Robinson was such a big piece.
Yo, we've got 260 people rocking with us this morning. What up to all you guys? If you haven't yet, jump over to YouTube. You don't have to stay there. But I promise you, if you jump over to YouTube and you see this chat, you're going to stay because this chat is phenomenal. Jump over, hit the sub, hit the like. We're on. I love you.
Nick Loyalty just said it right here. We don't have to say we can win it all, bro. It's possible. Right, the Celtics will be tough, but we can play them. Absolutely, we don't have to go out there and scream and hold the sign saying we're gonna win it all. Right, as long as we go out there and play our style or our brand of basketball, it's gonna give us a chance just to get it.
Would you guys say that the New York Knicks are a top 5 team?
Absolutely, honestly, I would say that top. Honestly, I would say even with the injuries right now, I would still say the Knicks are a top 5 team.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, right now, right, the second
show. Well, I was about to say, well, if you do the math, there's only 4 teams playing. No, there's 18 playing. Yeah, the math just got how many teams are playing? No, there's 18.
Some people in the chat have been saying it, and I completely agree. Nick Loyalty said it, E just said it, a few people said it earlier. Like, I don't want to start thinking about ECF. I don't want to start thinking about the finals. Like, at the end of the day, we should follow suit to our team. Like you talk to our guys, Jalen Brunson asked about his performance. You know, Dante asked about performance. Josh Hart asked about their performance. All of them replied the same way. Like, I'm just going to focus on the next game. Like when Jalen Brunson was asked about, you know, breaking the record in the playoffs of highest scoring Nick ever. Like, what do you think about that? Whatever. He said, I can think about that later. Like, right now, I just need to think about the next game. Like, they are next game mentality. And I think that's what makes us fighters, is because I think a lot of other teams get caught off guard because they're thinking about what's next for them. Like, after this team, what's next? And our guys focus on the plate that is on the table right before them. And I think that we as a fan base need to follow suit. Like, we need to keep focused on the pace right now. And once we get through the Pacers, let's look at what it's looking like for us in that next round. So I think we just follow suit with them and just continue to go plate by plate. Enjoy the appetizer.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, I love what you just said, Phil. You know, but at the same time, we also sit here, right? And then we have to look at realistically some of the issues. Like, let's be real. Houston, we have no bench. It was very clear in that game, right? And now you got no Mitch. So really, all we got is what? Precious and Bruce?
Hold on. I saw this graphic. I would just say this. So our starters and our bench are 7 players, right? Obviously, Jalen, Dante, OG, Josh Hart, and I Hart. Then you got Deuce McBride, and then you got Precious Achua. Guys, we're going to use a 7-man row. We got more guys sitting on the bench than Tom Thibodeau is going to actually use in the rotation. We got 8 guys that are sitting on the Jericho Sims, Malik Mack, Alex Burks, Jacob Toppin, so many different guys that are just sitting on the bench. Look at this graphic right here. Hold on. Look at the starters and the bench.
I know.
And that's the thing, though, is like, when you hear first, oh, the bench had, I think it was like what?
3 points.
3 points? Like, that makes you go, holy crap. But then when you look and there's only 2 guys that played maybe a total of 20 minutes, not even. You look, but all right, so yeah, because that, yeah, so Mitchell Robinson, he got 2. Precious Achua played 1 minute, 4 minutes. Deuce is playing 10.
I heard
and
Taj's knees. Screaming.
Yeah, so
I heard his knees crack.
So here's the thing: is we don't have many players playing on a bench. So another team's gonna have the upper hand when they're playing 4 to 5 guys off of their bench. You're going to get some points out of 4 or 5 guys. We're playing now with 2. So I hope Tibbs pulls somebody. Somebody's got to get minutes.
You see, but I look at it different, Phil. I look at it as for the Knicks fan base, our math just maths differently. We've seen it all season. The word bench doesn't really apply to us, okay? We've got 7 guys that we know can play full 4 quarters, and Tibbs has shown that all season long. So I look at our 7 guys as 9 guys against a regular team with 9 rotation players. I might be stupid and crazy later that way, but the way that he really runs them nonstop all season, we've heard it and we see it. We can outlast teams all the way for 4 quarters. So I think our 7 is equal to a 9-man bench.
I'm not worried about that. Like, at the end of the day, like, this is up to a 7-game series, So, like, when you look at it, Josh Hart played 48 minutes. Out of our starters, the lowest amount of minutes was Hartenstein with 36. And now Mitch is not going to be there. So, like, now Mitch is not there. Like, is every single player, everyone else was 43, 43, 42, 48. Like, of course we're going to struggle with bench minutes. Those guys get in, and before their shoes are even, like, have warmth and the rubber of their soles, they're back to the bench. So I think it's going to be hard for every single game for us to have 43-point Jalen nights and 25-point Dante nights. Like, if you look at that other series, when Dante had those games, it was great. But when Dante struggled, it was hard in that 76er series for us. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm hoping we at least get some points off the bench. We need something.
I just find it funny, Eddie, because I feel like they always find different things to find a way to say something negative. Like, I know we've all seen it. The dribble count now, like, I don't think I've ever seen that till this season. How many dribbles Jalen Brunson has. I'm like, wait, now you're saying he dribbles too much? Like, what the hell? You're running out of shit to talk about our team. You're like, he dribbles way too much.
Yeah, and Tyrese Halliburton, who holds the ball for 40 minutes a game, he's not dribbling. He's not holding the ball. Get the fuck out of it. Go ahead, Eddie. I'll let you cook before I give my take when it comes to the bench.
Okay, so one of the things I noticed with the way the Indiana Pacers team plays, they play with a ferocity. They play with a pace, this relentless pace of just going up and down. Then they're getting us full court, and 94 feet the whole way. I think in order to combat that, in order to counteract their move, we have to get other players involved. I don't think playing these guys 40 plus minutes a night is sustainable. Josh Hart's a different animal. Josh Hart can do that. But Jalen Brunson, I think you can't have him playing over 42 minutes. I don't think it's wise. So what's out there? What's left? Here's our options. Alec Burks. Okay, yes, he's been awful as a Knick. We would all agree on that. Jericho Sims. He's been pretty awful this year. We could both agree on that. But if the Pacers continue to take us full court on every possession, and we watch Jalen Brunson look tired at points in that third quarter. Guys look tired. We have to find a way to supplement, those minutes, whether it be Alec Burks or whether it be Jericho Sims. I understand Alec Burks is terrible, but if you give Alec Burks 6 minutes and he gets you 5 points, that's a win. That's a win, because a losing formula is 46-3. And that was the bench score from us to them. 46-3. You got to score at least 15 points. And I know Jericho Sims isn't going to get you much. You'll be lucky to get 4 points out of him. But maybe Precious gives you 6 points, right? Maybe McBride could give you 10, something like that. But I'm just saying, let's try to get 10 out of Burks and out of Sims. If you could do that, that's counteracting Indiana's depth. And that's the way I look at it. And I know it's a flawed plan.
No. Yeah, I mean, you and I spoke last night, a little bit about how we were feeling about the Burke situation, and we both left that phone call with a right? Like we talked about it for a while, and you walk away with a because I don't think anybody's like beating the drum like we want Alex Burks. It's like, oh shit, necessity, right? Like, do you do it? But I told you guys I would address it with you guys on Wednesday after last game if I felt differently. Even with the Mitch news, I'm sorry. I still can't be sold that we got to see Alex Burks. I believe he showed us who he is this season. I just fear that even if we bring him in for those couple minutes, he's going to want to do the Burks thing and throw up a bunch of buckets that sees whatever lead we have just go away. So
they might have to, though.
Yeah, but if Bruce starts hitting his shots, I really believe that we move on from that. I really do.
See Peter Artist put in the chat. Tibbs better not Thibodeau this up. When it comes to Alex Burks, right? It would make more sense to give Alex Burks minutes if Deuce McBride got injured, right? But with Mitchell Robinson getting injured, you need to give your minutes to a big man. I can see Precious Achiuwa filling in that Mitchell Robinson role. But if there's anybody on this team, and I'm leaping out the fucking window by saying this, if there's anyone on this team that needs or deserves to get some minutes, there's one player on that bench, and his name is Jacob fucking Toppin. Because when Obi Toppin did that East Bay and did that dunk, what did Obi Toppin say before game one? He was asked, who is your parents going to root for? You or Jacob? And Obi said, they're going to root for me because I play and Jacob doesn't play. After game one, if Tom Thibodeau is a petty bastard and he wants to get in the head of of Obi Toppin, you throw Jacob Toppin out there to go have him defend Obi and get in his head psychologically and mess him up. Why? Because Tom Thibodeau didn't believe in Obi Toppin. So what is he going to do now? I'm going to believe in your little brother. And I said your little brother is a better defender than you. So I'm going to put your little brother out there to stop your ass. So that's who I think if there's anyone, we need a big body coming off the bench. Realistically, do I see it happen? No. Would I love it to happen for my my fan fiction? Absolutely. My fan fiction would rock if I had Jacob Toppin coming off the bench. But in reality, I think it could be Jericho Sims that comes in that Precious role, and Precious is going to go step up and fill that Mitch role.
This is the only reason I would actually want that to happen. You guys know that I liked Jacob Toppin. I think he could have been better. He hasn't really performed the way that, a lot of people thought that he could. But the only reason I would want Jacob Toppin to come in is because I would find it super comical if he came in and played some good minutes, because in the pregame before game one, they asked who they thought his parents would root for. Since Obi and Jacob were playing, and Obi said, I think they'll root for me because Jacob's not going to play. And so it would be hilarious if Jacob actually did come play and actually contributed in a way to help the Knicks win. And then it would just be like pie on Obi's face. No hate to Obi, shout out to Obi.
And like CP is saying, Shake would be a good option, but I think Shake is more of a guard than a forward. And with Mitchell Robinson going out, Shake is a 2 guard. So we need somebody with a bigger body. Obi Toppin, he's not as big as Mitchell Robinson, right? But he could play the power forward and the small forward position, just like Precious could. I don't mind Shake if it's either. I'd rather Shake over Alex Burks. I'll say that.
Obi Toppin played good too. I want to shut that cocksucker down. Fuck him in that was coming.
We got 300 people in the building rocking with us right now. If you guys can, please smack that like button, hit the subscribe button. We are sitting at 54 likes on YouTube. There's 130 people on YouTube. Smack that like button. Let's get the stream to 100 likes. Appreciate everybody that's in the building. My guy Anthony Rivera, my guy Chris, and Ally Wise, the Fly Guy, is in the building. Christian Castillo is in the building. Christian, my guy, salute to you. Knicks will be 2024 NBA champs, and I'm still capping for that name. My guy Damian Serrano is in the building. The Fly Guy de la Isla Dame. Oh, how you doing, my guy?
I dropped the link in there. So we got 3 more people that just purchased their drink special tickets for the watch party. That right? I love the ones that keep buying the watch party. It's gonna be fun.
Buy
tonight.
some raffle
Drop the
tickets,
link.
you bastard.
Shout out to my
Raffle
guy
ticket.
Timothy
Let's go,
Branch.
Timothy.
Timothy Branch is in the
Good
building. How
morning.
you doing, Timothy?
Buy some raffle tickets. Come on. We need the money.
I got a good one for us. While we beg for money. Wait, what? The script chose us? The Knicks?
Oh.
Can you believe it, guys?
Oh.
The NBA is doing anything possible for the Knicks to win.
Yeah.
Listen,
Come
listen.
on.
I believe in the sanctity of rules and regulation. And the letter of the law says that was a moving screen. If that happened against the Knicks, would I be pissed off? Absolutely. But it was in our favor. So I in this moment, Adam Silver, you're the man, my guy. You could do nothing wrong in my eyes. If there's a call against the Knicks, absolutely, you could do everything wrong. But right now, it's the letter of the law. Respect the sanctity of the rules and regulation of the rule books.
Oh my
Here's the
gosh.
thing.
Chris said no open panel.
Of course.
Have you
Chris,
not
what are
tuned
you
into
talking
the
about?
show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? We just dropped the link. Hit the open panel. We'll start bringing people up. Go ahead, Phil.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like, yes, any fan base is going to be biased when it's a call that goes in their favor. But every single team has had a call that was botched by the refs throughout the season. Like, you can't go from being the villains and being told that, like, you don't have a 1A player to you're not good enough. The Knicks aren't going to make it past, anybody. Anybody could beat them. And then all of a sudden, the NBA just wants the Knicks to be relevant and win. Really? Like, all season? Like, not doing anything until this point? And now the NBA is like, we got to take care of the Knicks. Like, I think it's ridiculous. So
I was just gonna say us as a society, if the NBA didn't have rules and regulations, we'll be in a tree throwing shit at each other. We got to respect the rules and regulations of the NBA rule book. They put it on paper for a reason. It's a living document.
What's crazy is that screen, Phil, it was the same thing in the women's NCAA, right? For the women's championship, they called that moving screen.
Yeah.
The part about it is, but it is a foul. It is the actual right call. Yes, it sucks that to have it at the end of the game, but how many missed calls did the Knicks have during that game too? You always find the one. But I'm sorry, anybody bitching about foul calls after what Embiid did to Mitch and have any nerves to tag any Knicks fans about any shit online, you're an idiot. Okay? Point blank, they're letting them play a little bit more aggressive, but that one play did not change the entire game for them. Go ahead, Eddie. Welcome back.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. That's just bitter fans talking, oh, the Knicks get all the calls. Look at the way the national media treats this team. They shit on this team every single chance they get. That Barkley, all these guys, that woman in ESPN, that fucking asshole, oh, not a 1A. The national media hates us. And for 24 years, we were absolute garbage. And if we were getting calls, the NBA would have stepped in 15 years ago when this team was a fucking dumpster fire and done something. They didn't do us any fucking favors. What about Zion Williamson? We got screwed out of fucking Zion Williamson. If the fix was in, they would have got us Zion, KD, and all these guys that came in. But that didn't happen. So I don't want to.
What cracks me up is you're telling me they're going to finally use the fix for the Knicks against the Pacers?
Yeah.
Right. The Sixers game, like, damn guys, we couldn't screw them over against the Sixers. Might as well give it to them now.
Yeah,
I wanted listen. This is how much, right? Shout out to the Liberty ladies. Shout out to Teresa. Shout out to Ebony. Shout out to Ace. Right, we got sent a link so they could join the WNBA press pool. So this season they'll be joining different press pools, post game, pre games to ask questions. Yesterday they got their first one, and you know who was a part of the press? Becky Hammond was a part of it, right? So when I saw that, I was like, yo, I should really, if I didn't care about our brand, Morning Brew Sports, I would have literally sat in there. And when they came to me, I would have asked her, so Becky, what's your thoughts about Jalen Brunson's four games in a row, 44 points?
I see Hector wearing a wig
brand.
just to fit in.
Yeah.
So Becky. All right, let's bring up. We got a bunch of people backstage. Bobby, I see you back there. I'm waving back at you, my guy. All right, let's go in the order that people showed up. I see Chris, Rock,
Yes.
Double A, Bobby. The open link is in there. Also, get your raffle tickets. Let's get it going.
Yes, sir.
Chris, the belated birthday boy from yesterday. Happy birthday to Chris.
To you.
Happy birthday to Chris.
Chris was able.
and my mom.
Chris
Happy birthday.
turned 18. He's able to go into the library to check out a book without an adult and his presence. He's able to go to GameStop to buy himself the new Grand Theft Auto 6 that comes out in 5 years. So go ahead, Chris.
What's up, boys? What's up? So
Chilling, my
I'm
brother.
going to say something real quick because it was the last subject you guys were touching on. It's funny. A buddy of mine, Sixers fan, was like, in the beginning of the year, no way a 6'2" kid can, lead, kind of like a Becky Hammond situation. No way a 6'2" guard can lead the Knicks into the playoffs. He's not a star, blah, blah, blah. Then now we're in the second round, and the Miles Turner situation happens. And his first comment was, oh, the league just wants to see the Knicks and Boston. So all right, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, and Jalen Brown. You're telling me that league wants to see Josh Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Jalen Brunson? Where's the stardom there? Obviously, we're fans, right? Like, we love our guys. But at the same time, you're not selling Josh Hart tickets. You're not selling OG Anunoby tickets here. Like, where's the headline? Where's the headline? Like, I don't get that. All of a sudden, we get a call or two, whether it was in our favor or not. You can't sell me that, oh, the Knicks want to see the Knicks. The league wants to see the Knicks.
Right.
That's just dumb, bro. It's just dumb. We've been wanting a superstar, and now we kind of have one in Brunson, but it's not like we have all these superstars. We don't have KD, Booker, and, the other guard over there in the Suns. So it's dumb to me how the narrative has changed now. Before, these guys couldn't make it in the league, and now all of a sudden the league wants to see them in the finals. Like, it's just, I don't get that. And back to the beginning, I agree with Eddie wholeheartedly today.
Oh my God, the world is upside down, people.
Anybody
really
coming
is.
at Eddie today, I'm sorry, you guys are wrong. Heck knows this more than most. I am Mr. Optimistic. If you put us up, whether it's Yankees, Knicks, Rangers, whatever, you put us up against anybody, I'm going to root for my boy.
Yep.
People are forgetting we're missing Bogey as well. And that would have been huge against Boston. That's a good 11 to 12 minutes, maybe 9 points with a couple 3-pointers there for Bogey. And obviously Mitch coming off the bench against their backup, huge. But I said it. When Porzingis went out, okay, we got the advantage now. If we can see Boston, we have the advantage. It's not even an even playing field without Mitchell. Now we're like a little under them. Again, can we do it? Yes. Our boys can do almost anything. But at the same time, to think like, Mitch doesn't really matter that much because KP is out, that's just asinine. It's just asinine. I'm sorry. I love our boys. But now we're fighting an uphill battle without Mitch and Bogey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I agree with a lot you said. I'm going to first things first. Let me just shout out because I saw them in there. Our boys over at Real Talk, Knicks Real Talk.
Yes.
What up, Divine? Our guy is in the building. And Hector, you have been raising your hand for a very long time.
Yeah, I felt like I was in a Twitter space just now, raising my hand, trying to get in so I could talk. Shout out to Crystal in the chat. Crystal, how you doing? The Knicks is all brushing. He wasn't even this good at Villanova. And I brought that up specifically because you asked, why would the league want to push the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals? I'll tell you this right now. When was the last time an NBA team had 3 guys in the starting lineup that were in the starting lineup in college and won a championship together? Can anybody name that? Can anybody tell me the last time that happened? It never happened. That's why the league wants to get the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. The league is trying to push for the whole college narrative. College sports, it's taken a deep plumb, especially with the whole one and done. They could go to the G League and stuff like that. The ratings were down when it comes to men college basketball. The ratings were up when it came to women's college basketball. So the script is there has never been a team in the NBA or in NBA history that had 3 guys in the starting lineup make the Eastern Conference Finals that were in the starting lineup in college and won a national championship together, right? So maybe it may not be this year that the basketball gods are in our favor, right? But this offseason, if they make that move and bring in Macau as the next Infinity Stone, You don't think the NBA is going to push for a team that have 4 players that were in the same starting lineup in college? That right there is ESPN headlines. That's clickbait right there. That is the biggest clickbait story of our generation. Having 3 to 4 guys in the same starting lineup that won a national championship together.
And on top of it,
people were losing their mind on the idea when we traded for Cam Reddish, right? People were losing their mind, foaming like, oh my God, what happens if we get Zion? We can have RJ, Zion, and Cam. That never happened. We have that. We have that in the Villanova boys, a better version than that with Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart. And you brought it up. Bring up that graphic. I'll read the super chat in a second. But when you bring up that graphic, and you talk about Jalen Brunson, he is making history. This man has scored 40 points in 4 straight games to go along 5 assists. That's never happened before in NBA history. All right, I'm done because I'm thirsty. I need to drink some water. Shout out to my guy Black Yankee 79 with the $10 super chat. Thank you for helping us keep the light on.
While you take a drink of water, look how many times the Knicks have been on the short end of horrible, highly questionable calls, and everyone said, stop crying. Now we get a call. It's a conspiracy for the New York Knicks to win. That's BS. Say it with your chest, Black Yankee 79. That's pure bullshit. Go ahead, Josh Hart's cousin. Talk to
No, I was saying I like the name Black Yankee 79. Maybe Eddie could be White Met 69. Right? That'd be kind of amazing there. And listen, you know it. I had to throw that in there. Yeah, man. Listen, I believe in our boys. It sucks. I think Precious plays well against like Miles Turner. I think he's a little more athletic. Where Mitch obviously was playing on one foot, he's a little more stiff. So I think the athleticism is going to play right in this series. It's just the next series is going to be a lot more tougher. But, again, one series at a time. Let's enjoy these games versus Indiana.
Big facts.
Shout out to the
Chris here and it got balloons. Chris, bro, we love you, bro.
Hold up. Tell me. I want to ask Chris. I want to ask Chris a question.
Smack the like button.
So I'm with you that not having Bogey and not having Mitch sucks. But you said that even with Kristaps down, that you still see the Celtics now having the upper hand. So I was just questioning, like, in what way do you see that? Because with Al Horford being their main center, I don't see that as a step above Hartenstein, especially the way Hartenstein's been playing this year. So I think we have the upper hand when it comes to who their starting center is. And then when you look at their bench, they got, besides Pritchard, all they have is Sam Hauser, which means absolutely nothing to me. Like, I'm not worried about that. Luke Cornett, Xavier Tillman, and then a bunch of guys that I've never heard of. So they don't have a in-depth bench. They don't. So it would pretty much be our squad, their squad. And then if you look at even the 2 people we have off of our bench, they're better than their bench. Like, Miles McBride can play great defense on Pritchard because Pritchard is a scorer. That's it. Like, a little fast scorer. McBride is fast, great defender. Precious is better than Luke Cornett. Like, Precious is better than Luke Cornett when he was young and as a Knick. Like, Precious is still better than him. So when I look at their roster, I don't go, oh, they have an upper hand now that Mitch is gone, even with Kristaps out. With Kristaps coming back, yes, they do. Because Al Horford off the bench, plus whatever else, and Kristaps there. But with Kristaps gone, I don't see it. So I was wondering what made you say that they now have the upper hand now that Mitchell Robinson is out.
Luke Cornett is very good, Phil.
Yeah,
he's not bad.
Oh, hey, look at his stats. He's good. He's better than he looks. I think he's
Bud, bro. He had
3.6 offensive win share, 1.6
yes, I understand,
win share, and he rebounds. He's better than our backup center.
His rebounds, yeah, but he contributed 4 points in over 21 minutes.
10 rebounds in that time.
Yes, I'm saying
he's
rebounds
better than our backup guys.
But I'm going player for player. They don't have a guard that can grab rebounds like Josh Hart. So we're going to look at the rebounds.
Yeah, you know they average more rebounds than us, right?
I understand that. But what I'm saying is if we're going player for player, looking at their roster versus ours, I'm having a hard time looking and saying, where are they better now without Porzingis than our current roster?
To start the season, the Boston Celtics, the first month of the season, the first 2 months of the season, they was averaging 117 points per game and 116 points per games. In the months of December, January, February, and March, they average over 122 points per game on average. The last month of the season, they had their worst offensive efficiency for the entire season. Their last month of the season, they averaged 116 points. That was their worst month when it came to scoring and when it came to efficiency. They had a 6-2 record that month, but at the same time, they went against teams that were under 500 in the month of April. So in the last month, with
guys at the end though, they were resting at the end.
In the last month, Eddie, you gonna let me finish, or you go?
No, I just said they were resting guys
in like three games.
You let me know with the beginning of your sentence.
I just said that they were resting guys. God, I'm telling you facts. They were resting
when they played us for the first 3 quarters. Did they rest their guys?
No, they didn't. No. But
all
they
right.
did in the fourth quarter.
So they're resting guys in the fourth quarter. Do we not count the first 3 quarters of the game? So the first 3 quarters of the game, that team is having their worst month offensively, is what I'm saying. We got more people backstage. I want to bring up Rock, Bobby, and Double A as well. I know this conversation is getting spirited, but like I said, when you look at the last month of the season, you cannot, numbers don't lie. They had their worst offensive month efficiently.
This is a good moment for me to stop the awkwardness. Hold on. Because we just had more people buying tickets to the drink special for tonight. Appreciate those that are coming out. I also want to thank everybody on X because, guys, people don't realize it does take a lot for someone to hit a repost, right? You're asking them to share your message on their personal stuff.
Thank you.
The fact that so many of you were willing and able to retweet the fact that we're doing this watch party tonight, the giveaway, plus for our North and South Carolina peeps, this Friday, I'm going to watch party in Concord Mills. We locked down Twin Peaks. So I know, Devon, you're in the Carolinas, bro. Come rock with us. We already got about 35 people that have committed to rock with us this Friday night, last minute in the Carolinas. So if you can, grab your tickets, whether you're coming out tonight or just help us with these raffles. Guys, the raffles are amazing. But I want to shout out Crystal before we let Chris go. And we're going to bring up Double A and then Rock. But Crystal, I think it's the first time we've seen you in the chat, by the way. So I love that you're blowing it up.
Yeah, shout out to Crystal.
Brunson might be the most underrated player I've ever seen. I'm from Chicago, and I can tell you he's better than what Derrick Rose was. People will never admit this. Ooh, spicy, Crystal.
Speak on it, Crystal. Speak on it, Crystal.
Crystal, you better. You know what, Crystal? That open panel link is there, but that
open panel link is there for you. Matter of fact, I'm giving Crystal a moderator wrench just for that.
That's first day moderator. I think that's the first time I've ever done that.
That's a 5-star comment right there.
She's laughing about. We dead serious, Crystal. Good job. All right, go ahead, Chris, and we'll let you go, bro.
No, yeah. Phil asked me a question yesterday. Yeah. I just haven't been able to answer it yet. No. And listen, I'll run through it quick, Phil. I just thought, being honest here, I'm just being honest. I thought Boston was the better team. And I know, like, Kristaps going out and me saying Mitchell Robinson, they're still kind of better. My thought process behind that is the fact that I think they are the better team. So, obviously them losing their big man, us losing ours, it seems like it's like level playing field, but it kind of isn't. And I get the names and everything on their bench and everything. It just, again, I don't have the best explanation. I just felt like it's an uphill battle. Everybody healthy was an uphill battle. They lost their big. We lost our big. I think it's still an uphill battle. That's the best way I can explain it. But again, we have a team that is just, I've never seen nothing like this, where they fight every minute. We've spoken many times during the season. We lost this guy, and somehow we were still winning games. So the collective effort is what's going to need to happen for us to beat Boston. Do we have a shot? 100%. I think we have a shot against almost anybody right now. But, I just think it's still an uphill battle. But hopefully I'm wrong, brother. Hopefully I come on here in a couple weeks and we're talking about a win against Boston. And you guys were like, you were wrong. And I would gladly
right? Sign me up for being wrong.
Yeah, I would gladly be Eddie and get laughed at. I have no problem with that.
We appreciate you, bro.
Chris, we love you, bro. We'll talk to you later.
Love you, my guys. Everybody have a good one. Let's go Knicks tonight. Game 2's ours, baby.
See you in the morning. All right, before we bring the next person up, shout out to Divine. He just got himself a raffle ticket. He is entered into all the giveaways. Guys, I appreciate it. Like, people are literally sitting here. I appreciate all you guys just rocking with it. If you can't make it out tonight, get a raffle ticket. The prizes are so dope. They really are. Who did we have next? Double A was up. Rock, you still good? We got Double A. Give me a thumbs up. Rock is still good. Double A, the fittest 65-year-old in our community. Double A. I'm going to be honest with you, bro, before we talk Knicks. Ever since you and I met, bro, I was motivated. Because, one, Hector motivated me with the fact that he's been nonstop since the new year started to get healthy. He's been working out, walking. Double A, to see you, and, you know, not an age thing, but again, the fact that you work out the way you do, bro. And when I was with you, since I left Florida, I have been every single day. It's been nonstop working out. So it's push-ups, it's sit-ups, I'm outside doing my walks every day. I was like, you know what? I want to be a fit when I'm in my 60s, Double A. So just want to thank you for the motivation, bro.
No,
talk Knicks.
No, I was going to say Double A, just so people know, when we went to the Yankee game, before we went inside to George M. Steinbrenner and Phil, Double A saw a bar. He just started busting out the pull-ups. Then he started doing the push-ups before he went inside. Then we went to the bar. He got himself a shot. Before he did the shot, he did some squats and everything before he took that shot. Go ahead.
And when he had the shot, he was actually planking with one hand on the bar top. It was just like, it was crazy. I don't know how he did it. Like, inspirational.
Go ahead, Double A.
Well, it's a blessing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing. It keeps you young. And I think part of my motivation is, you know, I have 2 sons, man, and I wanted to stay young for them, you know, play ball and do things with them. So I wanted to stay young for them. And then, you know, fighting Muay Thai, you know, martial arts, you know, kickboxing, you know, not able to do that anymore. So, you know, just having a substitute. But, you know, it does wonders. And Hector can attest to that, man. It does wonders. And once you get started, man, it's like a dope. You know, you need it. You know, I know you guys kid around, but 5:30 every morning, I'm in my gym in my garage, and I'm doing it. You know,
you're looking good, Double A.
It too. So
looking
you know,
good,
let's
Double A.
Let's go.
Hey, fellas,
all right, now give us your Knicks. Let's talk. Let's do it.
Are we really gonna fear Luke Cornett?
Man.
Go ahead, Double A. Keep cooking.
I missed you. I missed you, Double A.
And to me, right? To me, Mitch, you know, you got to feel bad for him. How hard he worked to come back and play, and you know, Mitch gives it all, man. And you feel bad for him personally, but I really think in this case, Precious Chichua will make a bigger difference than ailing Mitchell Robinson, because Mitchell wasn't. He was hurting. You can see he wasn't himself, you know.
Yeah.
So he was playing hurt.
He was good. He was good.
Playing hurt, and I'd rather see him go down now and be ready for camp than suffer a big injury and then need a year or something to recover. Then that would be devastating. But I think in this case, Precious Chichua will be a benefit to us because we're missing that. If you notice, that guy Jackson, whoever, was killing us just with his athleticness or his quickness. He was just killing us. But I think having Precious in there will stop that. And I think you're going to see a different New York Knicks team tonight, because I think the Pacers gave us more of a game than I thought, because we were missing shots. You know, we were missing shots. We weren't rebounding like we normally rebound. And I think if we clean that up, which I know they will, I think you're going to see a double-digit victory for us tonight. I really do. And, you know, forget these people like Brashad who just got to dump on Jalen Brunson, man. You know, you got to find where, he dribbles too much. You know, his hair is too long. You know, what's going to be next? You know, I just don't get it, man. Why the hate, you know? But that's all right. You know, the way to repel that is to win. Keep on winning, baby. Keep on winning.
Double A, what did you think of their pace of play? Were you impressed by it?
Who?
With the Pacers, the way they were running.
Oh, yeah, they're 100%. And this is why there's got to be a way that Tibbs gets Hart 2-3 minutes rest. I understand the man is an Iron Man. He's a force of nature, blah, blah, blah. He can play for, but that don't mean you should, man. You know what I'm saying? You get the guy 3 minutes rest. And this is why I'm a big, big proponent of Tibbs starting to trust more than 7 or 8 guys on his team. Give these guys run when you can. If we got to blow out, throw them in there. You know, whatever. We getting blown out, throw them in there. So when you get to a situation like this, you can go ahead and next man up even with Toppin or with the other guy, because I agree with Hector. I think Toppin would lock his brother down.
Thank you.
I think he'll lock him down. I think he'll
Thank
lock him
you.
down. He can
to
shoot. And he can shoot.
It-
So you don't know.
You remember last postseason when he tried that East Bay thing against, I think, Cleveland, he missed the dunk.
Yes.
And Tom
Yeah.
Thibodeau screamed at him and benched his ass. So when he did
Right.
that dunk in game one, after the dunk, he looked at the Knicks bench. You could tell he was looking at Tom Thibodeau. So that's why Tom Thibodeau is a captain of being petty. If I didn't hear Tom Thibodeau respond to Jimmy Butler, I would have never had this thought process of putting Jacob Toppin out there. But hearing Tom Thibodeau respond the savage way that he did to Jimmy Butler with his comments, I believe Tom Thibodeau, he has Obi Toppin in the back of his head. And I think if Obi Toppin comes out there and knocks down 2 3-pointers in a row and is on fire, I think Tom Thibodeau will wait to put Jacob Toppin out there just to mess with him mentally.
Yeah, I hope so. But hey, fellas, I think you'll see a different Knick team tonight. I really do. I really believe this will be a victory, and I'm glad because I hate hearing we won because of a gift. Oh, we lucked our way. Come on, dude. We played.
I feel like we hear it every win. AA. There's always an excuse.
Are a legit championship contender, bro. The Sixers are a load, and yeah, every game was rough, but man, we were playing a championship contending team that unfortunately, because of injuries, they dropped in the seeding. But there's no way Philly would have been a top 3 team.
Right.
We're playing a top 3 team in the first round. And what Phil said makes sense. This only makes us stronger. It only makes us stronger.
Yeah. AA, you and I have talked about it and several times on the show. And that's why we always say, just get to the dance. I'm sorry. Once you're here in the playoffs, every team is strong. Every team has a chance to win. Every team can punch you in the mouth. Any injury can affect every team. We're not the only ones. We're dealing with a lot more for longer periods of time, and we've proven it all season that Tibbs can handle having different rotations with all these injuries out. This team has come together. But any battle in the playoffs is going to be just that, a battle. And we talked about AA the other day, right? The benefit of us having that second seed with the home court is we were able to take out the bigger challenge up front. Mm-hmm. But every game is going to be a challenge. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody can win. But I will time and time again point out the fact that Hector, myself, Phil, and Eddie, we went ahead, took $200, and we bet that our Knicks are going to win the championship. We have the slip to prove it. We put our money where our mouth is, and we are riding with our boys. Okay?
Yeah,
I got a feeling we're gonna be there, fellas.
Let's go, AA. Let's go, AA.
Love you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Hey, thank you for entering the raffle too, bro. I know you can't make it out
the raffle,
but we're working on
Appreciate you, Unc.
All right,
later, bro.
We got another super chat from our guy Black Yankee 79 with the $2 super chat, helping us keep the lights on. He said, "F-um bozos, this is all due to him, and I am riding for Mitch." Absolutely 100%. We got Rock, Bobby, and Ron backstage. Rock, let me get a thumbs up.
Before we bring Rock up,
there's an image that I want to show real quick.
We're out there. I paid attention to you all morning, and I know you're in your fields, and you've been making really good stuff. But today, I think you could have benefited from tuning into the positivity report this morning. I'm just saying, you might have benefited from it. All right, go ahead, Hector.
Just want to show real quick, alongside of the giveaway and raffles and the watch party, they got a happy hour as well over there at the Tryon Public. So this is the happy hour. The Brunson punch is $9. The MVP shot is $6. The Bing Bong Sangria is $7 as well. And then they have their own Tryon House Lager as well.
Yeah, and Phil, what are the two drinks that are included with the ticket tonight? Because we've got the Tibbs and the Clyde. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's the Tibbs and the Clyde. We just named those, but they're actual drinks that are out there. One of them is more floral with, a little bit of more sweetness, which is the Clyde. Get you some of that sweet flavor that he's dripping in always in his gear. And it's the bright blue one that's got blue cacao in it. And then the other one is a drink that a bar here actually in New York created called the Fancy Free. And it's a sweeter variation of an old fashioned. And so if you like old fashions, but maybe they're a little too strong for you, this one has a little bit of sweet vermouth in it to make it a little bit more palatable for people that just want to be able to drink it without the, feeling the actual taste of the whiskey.
Nice. Get your tickets, get your raffles. Listen, I'm going to take myself off screen, Heck and Phil and Eddie, only for one reason. Because with Rock being in the middle, we don't get the full effect of his background. So I'm going to take myself off screen. So when he comes up, the background and Rock gets what he deserves. All right. So let me take him off and you can bring him up.
It's the Rock. Hey, it's the Rock.
What is good, my people?
What's up?
How we doing?
Doing good.
Chilling, baby. Chilling, baby. How you
Hector,
feeling, Rock?
Eddie, everyone. It's time. Listen, the background, I'm going to jump right into it. For those
I already
that watch
know.
Mandalorian on Disney, I heard a lot of conversation. We talking about Boston. We talking about we losing this guy. We losing. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. Since January, we've been dealing with adversity. This is the way. This is what we signed up for. We could talk about all the analytics, all the matchups we won, but they do not have a response for these three guys. They do not. They do not. Look, jump right into it. With Mitch, it sucks. Would love to see him here. This one I don't really put on him. I blame Joel Embiid for him missing the series. But to Eddie's point, look, it kind of begs the question with Mitch, you know, the injuries, right? But that's an off-season question. We'll deal with that at a later date. You know, one of the questions I'll have for you guys later on is what I love, what I've seen these first two rounds, and shout out to you, Phil, for pointing it out even before we started the playoffs, the benefits of playing a better team, right? To have this confidence to know that we could even talk about the Boston Celtics legitimately and discredit the Indiana Pacers saying that, oh, okay, well, we should be able to take them out, right? Because if we played any other softer team, there would be question marks.
Yeah.
Right? The unknown, right? So, you know, look, Mitch is gone. I fully expect Precious to step up in extraordinary fashion tonight. I think Double A said it best. His athleticism to guard on the wing is what is going to help us tremendously against Miles Turner. I think having Mitch on the roster at 50% is different than having Julius at 50% because defensively, right? If you're at 50% and you're playing a team like the Pacers, it's not going to matter because these guys don't even go in the rim. I think one of the TNT broadcasters said, you know, Tyrese doesn't even go in the paint. They're not going to the rim. Yeah, they got a few dunks that game, but having Mitch at 50% and not being a rim protector and guarding on the perimeter does not help us this series. Granted, in Boston, we will need Mitch in order to be more competitive against those wings. But on the same token, our bigs have struggled with guarding three-point shooting bigs, right? So something to think about. But at the end of the day, look, here's my takeaway from the game on Monday. I did not like our first half at all, right? Tibbs was more reactive to what they were doing and trying to compensate on there. I was not satisfied with Deuce's minutes. I think we should see him a little bit more on I keep messing up his name, Eddie, but McConnell or whatever his name is. Yeah, but I need to see more from Deuce this game. I think tonight's game is going to be a big Precious game. We're going to be pleasantly surprised what we see tonight from Precious because he's going to get minutes. I hope iHeart could avoid some ticky-tack fouls, but at the end of the day, my biggest concern is, although I love the Nova 3, having Josh Hart and DiVincenzo, if you watch the playoffs so far, it's not consistent, those box scores, right? They're going to have off games, and we all know Jalen Brunson is on a tremendous streak, but sooner or later, it's going to come down a little bit, right? So we're going to need contributions from Miles McBride. We're going to need a lot of contributions from Precious. And look, we're playing basically 7 guys right now, but this is the way. This is the way.
Who just did that? Yeah, give me a second real quick. Where art thou? You just been banned and just been removed from the chat, right? The one thing that we don't like, we don't tolerate people name calling or being disrespectful in the chat. You see, Corey Lee is a moderator in the chat. Corey Lee could have blocked you. Corey Lee could have muted you from the chat. He didn't. Okay, we don't allow people to be disrespectful in the chat at all. I'm so sorry about that. I just had to say that. Go ahead, Phil.
No, don't come at any of the moderators because I'm the one that banned you. You know, at the end of the day, I want people to enjoy the chat. but we're not coming at our fan base. Like, we're not coming at each other. Like, disagree with the takes, but I've said it every single time we've been on the show. Same way I do it on Twitter. Disagree with the take, go at the take. You go at the person, you're done. You know, like,
there's a thing called for you, bro. You'll love it over there. Enjoy.
Yeah. Go ahead. and especially after I asked you not to be like that in the chat, and you tell me to mind my business, you could kick rocks, bro. How about that?
Yeah.
So we're out there now. You get it?
You know what? Yeah. Because you know why?
Oh, yeah.
You know why? We act like that because this is the way. Like Rock said.
Way to segue back.
Hey, Rock, I want to give you credit because, you know, you talk about like Precious stepping up. And I think that we have such quick PTSD as the Knicks fan base that we forget how Precious has stepped up already in this season. Like, there was a stretch of games when Mitch went down where we don't win a lot of those games without Precious Achiuwa and his contribution, you know? So thinking about that and reminding ourselves, like, yes, it was such a blessing to have Mitchell Robinson back, especially because he is such a fighter, you know, and he wants to be here. Like, you seldom have found a player that cares for this city and the team the way that he has in years past. So shout out to Mitch. But we can't forget what Precious has done to step up for us already, you know, previously. So I'm looking forward to that. And your point about how the Pacers play their points, yeah, you look at it, even their center spends a lot of time at the three-point line or in the midi. He's not a like crazy to the basket like type center, you know? So yes, having the blockness monster is always a huge blessing, but in a series where a lot of the activity is going to be outside of the paint unless they're doing a fast break. And let's be honest, as much as we love Mitch, if he's down there for a fast break, that's great. But Mitch is not the kind of guy that's getting from one side of the court to the other on most fast breaks with Tyrese Halliburton and Obi Toppin running the floor. Like, he's not that sprinting kind of center. So if it's going to be a series where we have to fight without him, I'm glad it's now, and that we didn't get the Pacers in the first round and had him there, but not in the second round where we needed him. So it kind of worked out in our favor a little bit there.
Absolutely.
I just want to point out the Pacers did outscore us in the paint the last game. So what we're saying of them being this perimeter team isn't true, because that was the first time we got outscored in the paint all postseason. Was the last game.
Yeah, but you know, how many, like, just because they outscore us in the paint doesn't mean that. I guess like we could rephrase it. A majority of their points came from the perimeter. They're not, you know, they're gonna get easy buckets in the paint. But I think the key.
You know why, Rock? Do you know why? It's because Brunson was hitting that midi. Usually Brunson's much closer in the paint. He was outside of the paint. So that's really why we got outscored, is because Brunson was knocking down that midi left and right.
Yeah, but also too, in that fourth quarter, we outscored them in the paint. In that fourth quarter, it was a different game in that fourth quarter. Turnovers and everything.
71 points.
We scored close. I think it was 15 points off of turnovers in the fourth quarter alone, and that was driving to the paint, getting points in the paint.
Yeah,
I mean, and let's be real. I mean, they did play a little bit better defense.
We got Ron and Bobby backstage. I just want to let Ron and Bobby. We're going to bring you guys up in a second. Just keep holding on. We're going to bring you up. My fault.
So real quick question. Yeah.
Because what I was going to say, because when Rock was on last time, right, we talked about it. Like, we knew the things to look for. We knew their pace, right? We knew things like that. We didn't expect to see the defense that they came out with. That was definitely a better defense than we've seen from them, period, right? Especially after that Bucks series, too. I mean, hands down, they played good defense, right? But now we saw it. Now we know how to fix that, right? Now we know how to combat that, right? Again, my thing is, I feel like every time we have these mistakes, this series and the last series, we've been able to point to our own mistakes, right? We were able to sit there and say, hey, this is where we messed up. Not because the other team was doing something that we couldn't handle, but we were turning the ball over. We were missing the free throws. We're not doing things right on the adjustments in the pace, right? So I've yet to find like, oh, they did that to us. That's why we looked horrible. We made the mistakes that made Pacers look a little bit better than they were. We expected the fast pace. That wasn't anything new. But, Rock, remember when we had that last episode? I said, mark my words, we will wake up saying things like, I hate TJ. And people were like, no, you can't worry about TJ. All I said was, he's annoying as shit, and the kid is everywhere. And what he do? Did we all not wake up like, damn, we better stop that TJ?
Oh, I
But
want to
people
shout
took
out
that
my
as, oh,
guy.
you're scared of the Pacers. Hey, what up?
Shout out to Guillermo from Legion of Knicks podcast.
Uh-oh.
Gmo, let me know what you're doing tonight, Gmo. We got a watch party going. I think I sent it to you on Instagram. If I didn't, let me know. I'll send it to you today. We're in Inwood, Washington Heights tonight, Gmo. If you're able to pull up Guillermo, we'd love to have you there. Shout out to my guy, Legion of Knicks. I know Guillermo does the watch alongs. He does the on YouTube. If you guys aren't going, make sure you guys go and support my guy, Legion of Knicks. One of the first dudes that I ever got on an open panel with was my guy, Gmo.
I had a question for you guys because I don't really pay attention to a lot of this, but fast break points, those are considered in the paint points, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of, if you watch that game, a lot of points came from our turnovers that were easy in the paint points.
That's what I'm saying, Phil, right? You can point to our mistakes that led to that, not that they did anything special. Exactly.
So when I talk about our centers being able to run back, you're going to have a Precious Achiuwa have a lot more possibilities of running back and defending a fast break turnover. And when your team has 14 turnovers against a team that does transition well when it comes to what they do with the ball once it's turned over, it's going to lead to in the paint points. Right. So I don't want to lose those points as well, because those were some critical points. So
we were +2, Phil.
Yeah. Well. Here's the other thing. We have more fast break points than them, right? So it kind of goes both ways. But I think it comes back to the whole point is that the New York Knicks, you can't look at the individual box score when you see how we win games. It's always the team box score on how we win games. That's been the formula since January on how we win games. So I think that's, look, we're going to be fine. We got to take care of business tonight. Look, guys, I appreciate all the Boston, all the future state talks, but one question I have for you guys before I go, right, was that one thing I get joy out of this playoff run is I get to kind of see the flaws on our team and where areas we need to, get better at, right? Obviously, last game, turnovers were a big thing. Phil, you touched on it.
Yeah.
We can't be that messy again, but I feel like we need another ball handler and another big wing, right? Whether we use the draft picks for that, but I think the Knicks are changing the narrative on the NBA on how to build a championship team. It's having not necessarily superstar players, but players that complement each other and play a system, right? And, Jigga, you brought up a point earlier in the show is that, are the Knicks a top 5 team? And I want to re-engineer that. Which one of the top 5 teams want to play the Knicks?
Thank you. And that's kind of where I was going with it, Rock, right? And we never got to finish that take earlier. I'm glad you brought it back. And that's why I asked the question, because then I'm like, okay, if you don't consider us a 5, or if you do, name the other 4 and tell me how scared you are of them. Because I look at it as team-wise, even with the injuries, but as far as continuity and what this team has proven time and time again, I'm going to take our team up against any top 5 team. We have proven that we spend so much time. And Eddie, I know, and again, I'm going to let you go next, Eddie, but I understand the whole, the size and all this. But again, I'm looking at a series. You have to battle this core for 6-7 games. We are not an easy team to go against. No one wakes up and says, I want to, you know what? Let's go play the gritty ass Knicks. That's what excites me.
Or come to the
because you don't know you can beat them.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil, I got a last question for you. If Jalen Brunson continues this pace and gets to the Eastern Conference Finals and we somehow push Boston to a Game 7, how much consideration should the NBA give him with his story to be the face of the NBA? And I'll leave you guys with that.
I'll say this.
Rock, appreciate you. This is the way. We're gonna bring up. Hold on, I just want to let Ron know because I know I know he's on his lunch break. Ron, we're gonna bring you up right now. Ron he's by Madison Square Garden right now. I see him right now by the Garden as we speak. I see the Eiffel Towers are behind him. Ron, just hold on a second.
All right, Phil, go ahead and answer that.
Your question. Put it this way: Nike already installed that billboard right near Madison Square Garden of Jalen Brunson with the word in 3 days. Not exactly sure what that means, but Jalen Brunson is getting recognition in the middle of New York City by the shoe brand of most NBA players, And so this is the thing that makes me go, we've all seen it. We've all known it. But now people's narratives against him have been destroyed week in and week out. So if he gets us to the finals, doesn't even have to be a championship. He gets us to the finals when we were told that we were a play-in team, that we were a first-round exit at most. No one, absolutely no one, can call themselves a basketball mind without giving the recognition of who he is. No one else has had a season like him. Not a single player has had a season like Jalen Brunson. So the Knicks are going to get that respect, but most of all, Jalen Brunson is. You look at every single team in the post games when they've lost, what are they talking about? All you can do is hope to contain him. Like, you can't stop him. You just got to try and contain him. Just the other day, the freaking Pacers, why did I just forget his name? Their guard. He had a whole post-game interview about this is the kind of guy that you can't control. Like, he's one of the best at what he does. You just got to hope that you can stop him a little more than you did last time. And that's just the truth. So he's already gotten the recognition by those that really matter. But the NBA cannot ignore who he is if we get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I don't even want to answer after that.
This is the way. Rock, appreciate you, Unc. Let's go Knicks, baby. Let's go Knicks. So let's bring up
Ron up real quick. We had more people entering into the giveaway. Julian Blum got himself into the giveaway. We got 3 more people that jumped in. I also saw, hold on. We had a super chat here for Jimo. Legion Knicks podcast. Salute to the panel. Carlisle had no answer for Brunson. Nimhar got cooked, sucker. Taking McConnell out and bringing him back too late in the fourth was asinine. A true literal ability to on defense could be key.
Woo! Facts. We're sitting on 79 likes right now on the stream. If you guys can't smack that like button as we bring up one of the smoothest voices in the entire Knicks community, our guy, the fly guy from Still Knicks fan, Ron. How you feeling? Oh, you're muted.
Muted on a Wednesday.
You may have to refresh and rejoin.
Drop out, come back in.
Yeah.
Out in.
Well, I gotta work on my intro. I'm gonna say the Ron the Don. There it is. Ron the Don. Blood of the Panthers voice. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that notification button. Hit the reaction and all that.
We hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yeah, something's up, man. These headphones I got, for whatever reason, they're not working the way they need to be working. They're not doing the damn job, man.
What you on lunch break, man? What are you up to?
Man, I'm just I'm out here like you said. I am getting lunch. I got the good stuff, man. I got that Jam Rock jerk chicken right here.
I know exactly what spots that's from too.
Well, actually, but I am not by Madison Square Garden. I am at the New York Stock Exchange. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
So I'm downtown.
Okie dokie. Did you get that from the food truck or from the store?
No, I got it from the food truck. It's out here on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, they're amazing. They be uptown like Saturdays. They be on Fordham Road.
Yeah, and they got one by me where I'm at on the weekend too. I apologize, guys. Like I said, the headphones ain't working the way they should be working. So I got all this extra noise out here. You know, there's a lot of people out here in the Wall Street area. So I apologize, but I just wanted to say real quick, hey man, it's always something, man. Now we got to deal with Mitch. You know, it is what it is. But I love you guys, Eddie, Jigga, Hector, Phil. I'm so sad, man. I wish I could be with you guys tonight. I was trying to figure out a way to make it happen, but the time it's going to take me too long to leave work to get up there, and I got to cook dinner. It's just too much.
No, I get it. Next time, Ron. Again, it's the middle of the week. We get it. But next time we have one of these events, hopefully round 3, hopefully ECF, we're able to put another one together, brother.
Yeah, man, that would be great. But anyway, I'm still excited for our Knicks tonight. I think we're going to get this victory. It's going to be challenging. Believe me, Indiana knows, what, no Mitch tonight? Okay, good. All right, what can we do? So, and then the Knicks, I think the Knicks will be fine, but you know that there's going to be a little bit of a blow. You know what I mean? You've been rocking with Mitch. He's your guy. And now you know you don't have him. So there'll be like that first quarter malaise of kind of like, okay, this is what we do. Let's get back to what we do. But I think they'll be fine. And I'm listening to everything you guys are saying. Honestly, bro, I would love that, Hector. You opened my mind to a possibility that I thought could never happen, but I'm like, that would be great. If they put Jacob Toppin out there to guard Obi, would be fantastic.
You know, Ron, I love what you're saying, man, because you know what? At least we've had the experience of what life without Mitch is, right? Imagine if Mitch wasn't injured all season and this was the time he actually went down. Could you imagine how much stock we would have had in that core that we would have, like, we'd be scrambling like chickens out the head. But here we are. It's another day. Oh, all right, shit, Mitch is down, right? All right, Mitch is out. But here's the positive. What I think people don't talk about is what you brought up. Pacers are thinking about it. I'm hoping it gives them a little bit of that false confidence. Oh, they don't got Mitch. We almost handled them the other night. Now they got no Mitch. Let them have that false confidence. So when Precious comes in there and slaps the shit out of them, they'll be like, oh my God, what is going on? So I think they might underestimate the fact that this team is still strong as shit, even without Mitch.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. Let them get the false confidence, whatever they need. Because, not for nothing, I don't watch Indiana that closely. I don't know what level of game we got in game one. They look pretty good to me. I don't know if that was their A game. I know Halliburton is probably the one guy
compared to their Buck series. I thought that was the best they looked.
I know. Yeah, so I know Halliburton was off, but I kind of feel like we're getting Indiana the way they play. And so if anything, they got to go back to the drawing board and say, listen, the Knicks, we thought maybe they were going to slow us down, but they kind of played with us at our pace. So they got to figure out something for game 2 tonight. And the Knicks, if I'm the Knicks, just keep going with what you've been doing. If that worked in game 1, it'll work better in game 2 because you're more accustomed to it. I think that was a little change for them. That's why they were so sloppy. That's why there were so many turnovers, because they were pushing the pace. But if they do that again tonight, it's going to be a much cleaner basketball game.
And one thing, Ron, to what you were saying is, like, Tibbs is the kind of guy that is not going to get the foot off the gas no matter what. And I think that is a huge benefit that we have, because I have watched the Pacers on and off throughout, and there have been stints where it seems like they were on top, then they kind of like slacked off a little bit. Halliburton went ghost for a few games. And so for me, the fact and the point that we have to remember is this is just as much a series for our players as it is our coach. Like, this is him and Carlisle, both assistant coaches during the 90s rivalry at I think it was like 98, 99, 2000, where Carlisle was assistant coaching in Indiana. Tibbs was assistant coaching in New York. So this is we were there in the grittiest of times of Knicks versus Pacers, and now we're in the front seat in this Knicks versus Pacers rivalry now. And I know that Tibbs puts a lot of that on his shoulders. Like, he wants to make sure that he writes his legacy different than people have painted it in the past. And so I don't think he's going to get his foot off the gas. And I think that the Knicks are going to have that extra fuel tonight, knowing that even though he's not announcing the game, the stupid network put it in their payroll to bring in Reggie Miller. So I think that our Knicks are definitely trying to make a statement tonight.
I just want to shout out Knicks 100 in the chat. Knicks 100, my guy. You say Knicks 100. It's like, let me see here. How do I begin?
I was like, oh, here we go.
Hold on. This is the difference between Knicks 100 and the person who he had to boot out the chat. At least Knicks 100, he understands the rules, the regulation. He follows decorum. He's not going to call people by names and stuff. So Knicks 100, even though we all don't agree, we're all not supposed to agree. This is not an echo chamber. That's the one thing. We don't want this to become an echo chamber. We allow people to have different views. If not, you think we have Eddie and myself here? We have different views. None of us share the same views. We all share different views. So that's why I appreciate everybody. This is not an echo chamber. We're not just repeating the same takes over and over and over again. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions. Everybody is entitled to fan, as long as you do it respectfully and you don't violate the terms and services of YouTube, and you don't disrespect our chat by being out of pocket and disrespecting the people that's a part of our community. Point blank, period. So Knicks 100, shout out to you, my guy. Crackle Nuts, shout out to you. Crackle Nuts, I let you have your own views. What are you talking about? Shout out, my guy.
He's like, no, you don't. All right, well, let's let Ron give us one more take so we can actually go enjoy his food.
Yes.
Facts, man, because this jerk chicken is burning a hole through this bag. I'm ready, B.
Sorry, Ron.
No, but hey, man, listen. Once again, I think tonight I would expect, like I said, the Knicks to be a little bit more comfortable in this style of play. So I do expect another good night from Dante. I expect Deuce to try to get a little bit more involved tonight, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I think the Knicks plan on getting OG more opportunities because he was flowing pretty good in the Indiana first game, but he just didn't get a lot. There wasn't a lot of things run for him specifically. I think they're going to try to do a little bit more of that in tonight's game, and to me, that's enough. If we can get the same thing we were doing, like the Philadelphia series prepared the Knicks defensively great to have to deal with a beast like Embiid, even though he wasn't 100%, whatever. He still dropped 50 on us, but whatever. And to deal with a guy like Tyrese Maxey running around the whole damn court, I think that helped them out a lot. Plus, it reintroduced the Hartenstein floater. That floater is going to be big going forward. So I like that. It allows him to contribute offensively and not just stay stagnant moving around. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm really excited. I can't wait. It's going to be a great night once again, man.
Ron, before we let you leave, I made a mistake and picked up my phone because I was seeing some things come up. So the new talk on Twitter is, as of today, Trae Young has signed to CAA. So there is the speculations of everyone saying,
God.
is he?
Don't do it. Don't you dare say it. Don't you say it. Take his ass off. Take him off.
Yeah, this is the moment that, I don't want to hear it, Phil. Ron, go eat your food, Ron.
Yeah, go eat your food, Ron.
Hey, all right, guys, listen. We normally don't do this, but because of the Knicks game and these freaking crazy games that keep happening on days we like to record, if y'all tune in to SKF Weekly with myself and John, we'll be on tomorrow night instead of Monday, this Monday night. So it is what it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What time are you guys
Ron.
going on? Because we're moving nightcap also. So we'll probably be after you, so I can pop on both.
Oh, I'll probably be airing the show around 8:30.
Okay, perfect, cool. And then we go on at 10:30, so that works perfect. I'll see you
Ron,
there.
enjoy your
the
food.
food, Ron. We'll talk to you later.
Before we bring up Bobby, so we can wrap things up, you know how we like to be transparent with our community, right, Celso? So I looked into the video analytics from this video just to let you guys know. You guys helped us out tremendously by smashing the emojis. Look at the reactions, right? Over 6,338 reactions from you guys. Every time you guys kept hitting that, it kept pushing it out towards new people. I'm watching it right now. Anytime the viewer count, it went under 100 or it went close to 100, you guys kept spamming and it keeps bringing more people in. So I know this is repetitive. I know we're used to just like, subscribe, and watch. But like I've been saying, YouTube is switching up their algorithm, and we're transparent with our community. You guys are helping us out tremendously. Keep smashing the emoji button. Just keep on smashing that reaction that's on the bottom side. It helps us out tremendously. We got over 350 people collectively watching us right now. I'll throw it over to you, Cels.
So before we bring Bobby up, I want to touch on something that Ron brought up when he brought up OG. Did you guys notice in the beginning of the game, did you feel like they were forcing it too much of trying to get him down low in the post, like trying to make him really hit that middle shot there? I felt like they were pushing it too much, trying to force that, not letting him do his get to the corner, run around a little bit, like they were forcing him down low too much. I didn't like that at all, Eddie.
He was bad in that game offensively. What was he, 5 of 14? I think something like that.
Something. I just feel like they tried utilizing him differently. I didn't like it.
I was thinking maybe, maybe the OG versus Siakam thing gotten maybe OG's head a little bit, because if you watch in that first half, Siakam was cooking OG. He was cooking him, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Precious did a way better. Precious did a way better job defending him. I think Precious is the better defender on Siakam. I thought keep cooking.
But even in the second half, though, you did see in that fourth quarter, OG made a couple of steals, and he was a lot more comfortable in that fourth quarter, even with Siakam. I always get these two confused. Yeah. But seriously, though, that's OG's main issue's got to be defense, but you guys are right. They have to draw up some easier plays for him. And what I've liked about Precious, what I liked about OG is that little mid-range game he has. If they could somehow run some plays like that, get him that little sweet spot right in the top of the key, right past the foul line, get some easy buckets there, some backdoor cuts, give him some easy baskets.
I'm gonna throw it over to you, Heck, but let me make sure we acknowledge Double A, 2-time super chats. Says Precious brings the smoke, 3 blocks and 8 boards from your lips to God's ears, my guy. He also said, Ron, buy more chicken. Join the boys tonight.
Wow. I just gotta say before I get my take, I know we gotta bring up Bobby so we can wrap things out and close things out. So we gotta get ready for that watch party. You guys, within the last 30 seconds of me announcing it, we're over 7,738 reactions right now. Keep on spamming the reactions. Help us out with the reactions. Shout out to the reactions. And look, you guys were hitting this reaction so much. You guys brought the smoking Nick into the chat. Shout out my guy, SK. It's been a minute, SK. I hope all is well. I hope fam's doing good. I hope you're doing good. But let's bring up Bobby so we can wrap things up. I got to go take a shower. I got to go brush my teeth.
And I'm going to drop the raffle ticket one last time in this chat. We're going to talk about, but I think what we're going to try to do, guys, with the raffle is we'll do it post game. After the game, we'll go live and we'll do the duck races. So, because again, all the people at the event, they're going to have options to buy tickets and into the raffle. So we just want to make it available for those of you that couldn't come out, but still want a chance to win the basketball, the jersey, the merch, the Bacher Back Pages hoodie, our hoodies, all that good stuff. So it's $20, guys. And that literally enters you into every raffle. It helps us make this watch party that much better with all the giveaways that we're paying for and really bringing to you guys. So the link's there. You want to come hang out and tune in tonight just to watch duck races? Do it. Hector.
Look at hold on. Knicks 100 said, you see, this is the thing. Him and at least he said he calls him Mr. Lee. If he look at at least he says Mr. Lee. I don't want your views today. I appreciate you, Knicks 100.
I want to do a roll call for you guys. Hector.
Right. Go ahead, Bobby.
Jigger. Eddie.
Fucking.
Go sing a song, guys. Go New York. Go New York. Go New York. Go. And Phil, I'm happy that you booted that guy out for what he said, because you know what happened on Jake's show today?
What?
Same thing?
You guys know that guy named Alan?
Alon or whatever. I've seen him in the chat.
Yeah. Celso knows him.
He's a cartoon character, right? So he says, okay, Mitchell's down. Who's next? And guess what? Jake kicked his ass out for a whole.
There you go. There you go, Bobby.
I think he should have banned him forever, because he said he can't believe I'm a dad. I was bullshit.
Oh, God.
That. So
Bobby,
guess who's going to be at the game tonight?
You going to be at the game tonight?
No, I'm in. No, Jake's going to be down there. He's going to sit next to Ben Stiller.
Nice.
And Reggie Miller. Reggie's going to get thrown like hot dogs at him, hamburgers. Throw some rotten apples at him, you know. And the Knicks are going to win tonight, right? They're going to take the Indiana Pacers in 5. Give them.
Go, Bobby.
Wait, no, did I? Yeah, give them one in their home, and then we'll just.
You got it right for the first round. You got it right for the first round.
Sunday.
Well, I changed my mind. Remember, I thought dumb.
But you got it right originally, Bobby. You always go with your first take, Bobby. Like Cheesy Showcase. Bobby is 2-0 right now. Bobby is 2-0 right now.
Hold on, Bobby. Hold on.
Cheesy looks like. Who did I say Cheesy?
Hold on, Bobby. Because everybody knows. I'm sorry. I know we're talking about all this stuff, but it's still bothering me. Bobby, you don't deserve for idiots to be in chats disrespecting you like that. All right.
No.
So feel free to send us a message when someone's in a chat. I am more than happy to come over there. I know Jake Asman is great at putting people in the shadow realm, and I am more than happy to attack them in the chat.
We banned them for 24 hours. I wanted to ban them forever.
Yeah. We don't.
Bobby, I'm saying it right here. Anybody got any smoke with Bobby? You come talk to us. All right, Bobby.
Phil, who was the person who you got rid of?
We don't even need to bring his name up. Don't even need to bring his name up.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Bobby, you said Knicks in 5. Ooh.
Bobby, last question. Let's go. Bobby, last question, Bobby, before we let you go. We got to wrap things up. How many points is Jalen Brunson scoring tonight, Bobby?
Okay, I'm going with 41.
Yeah, I'm glad it's over 40. Let's go.
And the Yankees won yesterday 10 to what? What was the
Let's go, Yankees. Let's go,
Knicks.
What was the score
yesterday? 10 something?
It ended up being
1.
Yeah,
10-1. We kick butt.
But
We
Bobby,
got
you know what?
chicken.
Save it. I want you to tune in tomorrow for Yanks Brew. I believe I'm going to be on
Yeah,
the Yanks
and-
Brew with Hector tomorrow. But I want to talk about that because there's a lot of stuff we can talk about with the Yankees, especially like why do we keep having these nice big 10-point run games and then somehow the next game we only have 2. So we'll talk about that tomorrow morning.
And then I like that girl from Texas. What's her name?
Hey,
Bobby, love you, Bobby. Appreciate you
we
guys.
love you, Bobby. We'll talk to you tonight, man.
Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Let's do a roll call. My guy SK Ally Wise Crackle Nut says Bobby chews bubblegum and then kicks ass when he's all out of bubblegum. Absolutely, Crackle Nuts.
That's our guy, Bobby. Man, Eddie. All right, so
hold up.
Let's throw it over to Eddie.
So
let's get Eddie last take. Go ahead, Phil, and then
real quick. I just wanted to say tomorrow. We are doing the morning brew tomorrow. I mean, we're doing the nightcap tomorrow night. And we will be having our guy Dexter Henry on with us tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. We decided that it wasn't the wisest thing to do it tonight because we know that a lot of people are going to be watching the game and we don't want to like conflict with, Eddie's post games on Twitter and all that stuff. So if you're
let's be real, Phil's lying. He just said we don't know how much my brother's going to drink tonight to produce the show.
That's also true. But tomorrow, Dexter Henry, 10:30, myself, Apollo, Bully, Eru, we will be back in the building.
I heard a rumor, Celso, that Dexter Henry is having on some people on Friday for a post game. Who is Dexter? What is that? What's happening on Friday?
Weird. I believe it's being worked in right now, but rumor has it that the Knicks Morning Brew crew is going to be on post game with Dexter on Friday after the Pacers. So you'll see our 4 ugly asses on there. So we're scheduling everything, but they're trying to make it set up to all 4 of us to be able to jump on with him. So we'll update everybody tomorrow, but check in with SNY and New York Post with us Friday after the game.
That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Eddie. Let's get your predictions for tonight, and then we wrap up and let's go. Come on.
You guys really want my prediction for tonight?
I saw that devilish evil grin you put on your face, Eddie. Just give us positive vibes because we're doing a watch party at the bar.
I'm not a positive person, Hector. I mean,
I know you've killed 3 goldfish when you were 12 years old. I get it.
No, I don't hurt animals. I love animals. All right.
He said, no, don't push it, Hector. He's like, I'll take so much, but don't you dare.
I guess I got to be nice and play the company man role.
No, that's not why you're here.
Sunshine and rainbows. And the Knicks are going to.
You muted him?
Why'd you mute him?
Knicks by 50, we're going to Jalen Brunson's going to score 100 tonight. Dante's going to break the 3-point record. It's going to be fucking nuts.
We're going downhill. That's it. The show's gone off the rails. Appreciate everybody. No, go ahead, Eddie. Finish up.
I really shouldn't. Go. You guys go. If I go, it's nothing.
Go ahead, Phil.
It's like, listen. We're gonna be at that watch party tonight. I just want good vibes. I just want good entertainment. I just want to have a good time, right? Regardless of what's happening. That's why I love hanging out and talking with Eddie, Phil, and Celso. Because like I said, all of us, we don't have the same opinion on everything. This is not an echo chamber for Knicks fans. No, we go back and forth, and it's a respectful back and forth, just like everybody in the chat. We're all respectful. We're all fam at the end of the day. We all got one goal, and that goal is to see the New York Knicks win an NBA championship.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we will do the live from the watch party tonight. We're kicking off at 7 o'clock. As of right now, it looks like our boy Sean is going to be hanging with us tonight from the Knicks World. We got our boy Brill. So Brill's either trying to get to the watch party and be live with us on time. So Brill's coming out that way. Hopefully, if he's not feeling good still, he's going to do it remotely. But we'll do the pregame.
The doors open.
Doors open at, we're going to be there at 5 o'clock. So 6 o'clock is really when we're telling everybody to start coming out. Okay. But the raffles, we're going to do them after the game. We'll do all the duck races. Come out, have fun, and tune in if you can't. 7 o'clock for the pregame. Rangers, Ice Brews at 6 o'clock. Then we got a lot of shit going on. Anything else? All right, Phil, go ahead.
Got a lot of stuff. Phil,
go ahead. So I'll be enjoying tonight, enjoying tomorrow. I think we win by 6 or 8 points tonight. I think it'll still be close, but that's the playoffs. But I think we win 6 or 8 points. Everyone's saying Knicks in 5. If that's the case, I hope they win on Friday and not on Sunday, because I'll be in the building in Indiana pissing off as many Pacer fans as possible. So maybe I'll see that guy that was in the chat tonight. It seemed like he was a Pacer fan, but we'll see. So, appreciate all of you guys. If you can, whether you're coming to the watch party or not, if you can go to either any of our personal Twitters or our Morning Brew Sports Twitter, like our Brew Crew Sports, if you guys can retweet the event tonight. We know a lot of you have moved out of the city. We totally understand that. But we know that there's friends and family that are still in the city. And not everybody is trying to make that trek to watch in MSG. Yes, it's lit. It's great. It's a vibe after the game. But not everyone's able to do that. Some people are trying to be on the outskirts watching the game so that they don't deal with all that traffic and that craziness. So please retweet, invite anyone, tag anyone that you think would come to this watch party tonight. It's free. And then $20 gets you drinks and entries. And then extra tickets are $10. So have people come out. We appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for lighting up the chat today. We appreciate you guys.
Next
we'll on this one.
If Jalen scores 100, we win in the next 10 rings. Absolutely. No,
you heard it here from Eddie.
Corey Lee said, effing Eddie. Gotta love this guy. Absolutely, Corey Lee. We appreciate everybody. Smack the like button, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, make sure you drink some water. Make sure you say something nice about yourself. But tonight at 8 o'clock, let's go Knicks. And until Friday, doses. Doses.